Well, I recently took a trip to New Jersey to visit my son who lives in Jersey City. And while I've traveled quite a bit around different countries and around the United States, I must admit that I felt intimidated by taking this trip. I mean, if you don't leave McHenry County very often, it's a little daunting to be in the city. And his apartment is on the Hudson River, and it faces Lower Manhattan and the Statue of Liberty, to kind of give you an idea of how claustrophobic I was going to become. So I thought, well, what can I do to get through my anxiety? I was sitting in the airport in Milwaukee, and I thought, you've got a superpower. You can write. And so I went nuts and I started writing poetry about my journey, and the first poem's called The Journey. The sound of his voice, like the staccato of a machine gun, laughter bouncing off the wall, shatters my peace. A shoeshine guy, ambassador of irrepressible happiness. Did you have a nice trip, he calls out to me. No one passes by without a greeting. This part of the airport, a community all of its own, across the way, a clerk gives me a free magazine for reasons known only to her and sends me off with a blessing. Meanwhile, a young man pushing a trash cart develops a sudden swagger in his step and a grin on his face as he passes the two women baristas who respond in kind. Nearby, at my gate, a woman in a lime-colored sari massages a bare, swollen foot. An Orthodox Jew in a tall black hat, perhaps a rabbi, takes a seat. Several young, boisterous Asian men, part of a team or students, arrive just in time. Strangers on a journey together on flight 3610. Okay. So this is kind of a triptych, I think you'd call it. There are 3 of these that describe my journey. The next one, okay, I'm in Jersey City, and my son has a deck, kind of like a penthouse deck that he's turned into a garden, and I could look out and see the vista of Manhattan. And so I wrote this about it. It calls Sky Garden. All night, through the morning and the heat of the day, there is a roar. A voracious tiger in its cage, pacing, crowded by the captor and the kept. Taunted by the ever-present swarm of helicopters, like dragonflies on the hunt, the city both nurtures and consumes its prey. A man seeks solace, connection to Earth's simple beauty, his rooftop garden, paradise under the sky. The setting sun paints flames of red on distant buildings, glass buildings across the Hudson River, while below, sirens scream. Dogs walk with owners distracted by their phones. Babies in buggies crying, nannies indifferent, absorbed with Twitter. No one notices a fragrant rose in the park or the white dove, except the gentleman finding peace in his sky garden. Thank you. So finally, I get back to Billy Mitchell Field, and I get in the car, and I'm on the interstate, and I decide to get off at the Burlington exit, to get off a little early. So I went from cement to farmland, and I wrote "The Wind Beneath My Tires." Verdant, lush green draws me home, away from the harsh and unforgiving cement of the city. Oh, how joyful is my heart to see you again. Blue sky is the breath upon which my wings fly. Unfettered, free as the hummingbird, straight to the flower, I am almost there. Thank you. And since I have a little tiny bit of time, I'm going to read a more recent poem. And it was an evening in which Gail and I were at the concert in the park. And it's titled Concert in the Park. Clashing cymbals, bang of the kettle drum, bam, boom, John Philip Sousa, summer is here. Children and trees and on the chase, melding strawberry ice cream, clusters of families sitting under the waning sun. The Union soldier has seen it all, standing mute over the crowd in the square, an unchanged tableau, a tintype in time. Hands and hearts for the Star-Spangled Banner, bam, boom, in the land of the free, where everything seems the same. Maybe that is the problem. Remind me, Union soldier, what did you die for? Face up, sightless eyes will not see dawn's early light. So all of God's children can play in the park on a summer night, and the bam boom is just freedom's music. Thank you.